This episode was brought to you with the support of patrons of the Jessa channel, like Ralph. Thanks, Ralph. Join the party at patreon.com/the Jessa channel. Hey there, you're watching the Jessa channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and this is a vlog. It's a joy vlog. I finished my other work for the day, and after I do this vlog, I'm going to go and have some pizza and hang out with my husband. Yay! And I saved the best for my work day for last because I am, oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, how do I say this? First of all, if you have just stopped in, I started a new channel. And I wouldn't say it was a we thing. And how I want to show you guys, let me just, I know what I'll do. I will go over here and I will grab the little pretty teacup for our, let's see if it'll let me throw this in here without, and if it won't, if it'll let me do it. I don't know if we'll see. Oh, look at that. It kind of did. That's kind of big. This is on the fly here. This is quality entertainment right here. Quality entertainment right there. So what you see here, this lovely little image here is the Grand Dames logo that I'll just sit like right here. Okay. So anyway, so what music you hear is the theme music for the Grand Dames channel, which is from a game called When the Past Was Around, which is a fantastic game that I'm hoping that having the music be the theme song, the game will sell because we'll be using this wonderful music at the beginning of our live streams. So the Grand Dames, I'll give you a little backstory, the short backstory. But basically, it started when I decided to have a PAX Online panel. I learned that this year, back in August or July, I learned that PAX Online, PAX West, which is normally in Seattle, which is where Shirley and I met for the first time in person, though we'd known each other for years before that, was going to be online. And I thought, I can do this. I can do an online panel. And so within, and I found out about it, and it was the time for applying for a panel was closing like in like 5 days or some short period of time like that. So I said, I need to come up with some panel ideas. I came up with 3 panel ideas. They accepted 2 of them. The third one I was kind of sad about because it was going to be talking about how the Sims franchise has gone to... I wonder why they didn't accept that. I had like a complete panel ready of people to talk about how much the Sims sucks. Huh. Anyway, so, but they did accept 2 of my panels. One was a role play panel, and then the second was the grandma gamers, grandmas talk crap about games. And I thought that it was called Tea with Grandma. And I went to Shirley and I said, hey, Shirley, since this year PAX is not going to be online, the last year is when Shirley and I were at PAX together. I said, let's do a tea party. It's so easy. And, it's just a live stream and all you have to do is come and drink some tea and chat, and she said, okay, which is great because Shirley, if you're watching this, I'm talking to you, is very good at saying no. Some people have a problem with that word. She does not have a problem with that word. Because she's had to, because she's had so many requests for, everything under the sun. But I was really grateful that she said yes to me, and that we're not only we're fellow YouTubers, but she is actually a friend of mine. And so we have connected and gotten quite close over the years, and I really love her. So anyway, she said yes, and then I went to Mary, and that was 3 of us. Mary was also on the panel with us at PAX. And so I said, Shirley and I are going to do this again. Want to join us? And she said, okay. So we needed a 4th. I thought a panel with just 3 of us wouldn't be as interesting as if we could find a 4th person. But it's not like grandma gamers are thick on the ground. You know what I mean? Anyway, long and short of it, I went to Reddit. Reddit suggested Food for Dogs, Britta. I went to her. I looked at her channel. She was a wonderful fit. And the bonus is that she focused on JRPGs and anime and manga. And so I thought, great, that's a place that we're missing in our ability to talk about games. The other 3 of us didn't do that. So, and also she had a picture of her wearing a really cute pink hat. And I said, you're hired. So I went to her and I said, I had to name drop. I joke with her about this. If you're watching this, Brett, I'm talking to you. Anyway, I name dropped Shirley because I knew that I didn't know, but I thought it's pretty likely that, she may not give me the time of day, especially because I needed something to happen that week. And so I was basically saying, hi, you don't know me. Will you be on a panel? And I need you in 3 days. So I said, I'm friends with Shirley Curry, and because Shirley had actually sent me a link to someone that she thought might be a good fit, but they never got back to me. I don't know why. Anyway, so we were really in need of someone, and I'm glad they didn't work out because Britta is wonderful. So anyway, yeah, so that's how the Grand Dames came about. And I'm going to take you to a video now to show you. Most of you guys have seen this already, and I won't have it up, but for the few, 2 people who are still like, what's she talking about? The Grand Dames, I don't know what she's talking about. What's she going on about? I don't know. Anyway, if anyone is still sitting there thinking that, I wanted to take you over to this.
Hey
so, oops,
there.
That's not me.
My name is
Jessa.
Yeah,
that's me. There we
from
go.
the Jessa channel.
That's not
on
me.
YouTube.
I just said that. That's me. So I wanted to show you, it was about right there. So sorry about that.
Her and I did one together once.
And then you and I did. Oh yeah. This is your 3rd. Okay. Yeah. And then we did one, the 3 of us. Yeah. And then we're doing another one this year, except it's online. Yes. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, except it's online. I was surprised at seeing me on the screen because I thought I had moved the video to the place where I wanted it to start. So I went, whoa, that's not me. Wait, that's me. Anyway, I'm also completely excited, as you can tell. So anyway, and let me get the music back. So that was the PAX panel, and Britta and I ended up in Discord where PAX, for some odd reason, was doing their live streams where the chat was happening in Discord. I don't even understand their choices with that, but whatever. Anyway, the chat in Discord was crazy. People were going nuts. And one of the things that Britta and I saw was how people were saying, oh, this makes me miss my grandparents, or oh, I feel so cozy, or oh, you guys are so comforting. And Britta and I could tell. We talked about it right afterwards, and I said, Britta, I think we have something here. So then we went to Mary and Shirley, who had not made it into chat, in part because it was in Discord and it was hard to find. And we said, Britta and I said, we saw everything, and you guys won't believe it, and it was this. And I said, I took my hat in hand and I said, will you guys start a channel with me? Well, can we keep going with this? And eventually we decided that we could. There was some logistics and concerns, but overall we basically thought, yeah, we could do this. And the Grand Dames was born. And so what I wanted to share though today is I am blown away by the success of the Dames. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put on screen now, I'm going to show you the the YouTube page. It's a bit nuts. So just before I put this on screen, I'm gonna let you know that this is, as of this recording, it has been Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. All of this has happened pretty much in the last 5 days. So here is the desktop, and sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure I had gotten the desktop up. Here is the Grand Dames, and my first thing that I feel so good about with this vlog and success is how accomplished I feel. But our names are always alphabetically, but I do think it's slightly poetic that Britta and I are on one side, because Britta was basically as close to me as her circle is in this image as far as getting this done. I could not have done it without her. I will never take credit for, I mean, the Grand Dames is a group project, but if people are like, oh, who did the graphics? I'll be like, I did, and Britta helped. That will always be my answer. Because Britta came to my rescue. I gave myself 6 weeks to work on this channel, and about 3 weeks before the channel was supposed to go live, I hadn't done a single thing. And in part because there were a couple of very difficult things that happened in my life at that time that were very emotionally difficult to go through. And so I kind of set me back on my heels a little bit, and I was exhausted and struggling with some depression, as well as what's going on in our world. There was just a lot happening. And so about 3 weeks before I went to Britta and I said, you know, I need help. I was wondering if you would sit with me while I try and get all this done. Because the way I work, if someone just sits down with me, and they don't have to actually talk, or they can just, as long as they're sitting with me and I can kind of borrow their energy and get up. It's like once I get up off the ground, you know, I can do it. I was so stuck. And then procrastination, and then the fear, and then that made the procrastination worse. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so she didn't respond at first because she doesn't check Discord very often. So finally I got desperate and I went to her on Twitter and I said, I really need some help. Can you help me? And at that point we were like really close to the wire. And she jumped right in and sat with me for numerous nights on Discord calls, watching. I would share my screen and I would start, and we just started from the top. Design the channel from the top, and starting out with the color scheme. And I want to show you actually about this whole color scheme thing, because when I design a channel, I mean, not like I'm an expert, I've designed too, the Jessa channel, and this one, I start them out both the same way. And so if you're curious about how I start a channel, if you're curious about starting your own, this is what I did. The first step is to make sure that the name isn't to get a name. So what we did is we had a contest on Twitter, and I want to thank Radio Quiet Stars. She gave out a bunch of great names, and one of them was, we had two choices. We were going to go between Silver Bells, which we really liked. We wanted something that had a grandmotherly feel to it, that identified the fact that all of us have gray hair, and that we were all older gamers, but we didn't want to be grandma gamers. And plus that name is too generic. We wanted something individual. So the first step is choosing a name. And then after you choose the name, I went online and found a site where you can type the name that you want in and see whether it's available on like all of these social media platforms, like everything. And so the Grand Dames was not taken on many of the social media platforms, and I think all of them. I mean, maybe there was a couple here and there, but the major ones that we needed, which was Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, things like that. So the Grand Dames was available. And also the next thing we did was choose whether thegranddames.com was available, which it was. So the only thing is we didn't get our email address. The Grand Dames email was taken at Gmail, so we needed another one. But otherwise, And then the next thing that we did was we wanted to craft a feel for the channel. And so for this one, I wanted something that was like tea parties. And so I Googled tea party color schemes. And after we perused a couple, we came up with these 3 really pretty color schemes. And using those color schemes as a base, I ended up coming up with this color palette. So that is the color palette of the Grand Dames. And so once I had a color palette picked so that everything would be cohesive, then we started coming up with fonts. And the fonts were interesting because I had this idea of looking for fonts that looked like grandma's handwriting. I wanted something that looked like grandma had just written you a note and put it in your lunchbox. So we searched and searched and searched for stuff, and we came up with these 3. This was my favorite choice. This was another one, kind of simple. I wasn't sure about that, but I thought it might do. This one I kind of liked because I liked that curl on the R, because I wanted us to have our name be like big, grand. But to my surprise, none of them worked. None of them worked when we finally slotted it into the design. And it turns out that this one, which I wasn't even looking for, is the one that we ended up going for. So yeah, that was the font. And then the imagery was imagery that I had already in my graphics design program, which comes with a lot of imagery in it already. And I wanted a teacup, and that one was just one of the teacups. And then we worked with it a little bit to get it more what we wanted it to look like. And then after that, it was the circles. I've always been partial to circles. Even the Jessa Channel's whole theme is about circles. Like over here, you can see the Jessa Channel circles here. So that ended up, without me really thinking about it consciously, ended up being part of the Dames look too. So anyway, that was how things came about. And then after that, everything started to roll. And then finally, the day before the live stream, all the graphics were done. And then we had to work on the Patreon page and the Discord. And that's what took a long time to work out. And this is the Grand Dames Patreon page. And to my joy, with this awesome success, this has been 5 days. Oh, there's a new patron come in. There was 42 earlier. We have gotten 43 patrons in 5 days. It was amazing. It really, really surprised all of us. And I knew that, I don't want to go so far as to say I knew it would be successful. I don't want to say that. I just knew that if we could capture the same feeling that we got at the PAX West panel in the look of our channel, the feel of it, it would be exciting. And that would very likely lead to a success. But I didn't have any idea of like, we'll get 1,000 patrons in one day, or any, yeah, I didn't think anything like that. But the tea is, I'm a great lover of tea. So having the tea be part of it and having tea parties, that was really important. These are all the levels for the channel. And we have someone at every level except for the $15 a month level so far. But we were just so happy. And Britta helped me when we worked out all of these graphics, wrote out the text, and got, the marketing copy and all that kind of stuff down and clear. And then basically Saturday rolls along and we released it to the world with our live stream. And our first live stream, 250 people in there, which I was super happy about. And when we had saved the unveiling of the Patreon and the Discord for that live stream. And when I mentioned it in the live stream and I said, it's open, go on in there. Boom. Like within the first minute, how do you guys type so fast? I don't even know how you do that. People came in, people just started, bam, rolling in there. And we had a slight problem because I had made a little mistake with connecting the Discord and the Patreon so that people weren't anyway. But once we had that fixed, everybody was able to roll in there. And now it is just hopping over there. People are in there. Good morning. Posting pictures of their dogs. There's an anime section in there. There's a JRPG section in there. There is the tea party, the main area where everybody chats. And then there's areas for different interests like arts, crafts, cooking. Boomstick, hi Boomstick, was posting cocktails. And then of course we have different game sections that we're talking about in there too. Announcements, Ask the Dame section. And I have just been so surprised. So I want to be honest with you guys and just tell you that it has just been, I have worked hard on YouTube for 8 years. Actually, today, the day I'm recording this, is November 11th, 2020. Today is my 8th anniversary on the Jessa channel. If you go back and look on the Jessa channel, 8 years ago today, I posted my very first episode of Skyrim, of Mala, where I role played her and voice acted her. And I've come a long way, and I have worked really hard. But the Jessa channel, for reasons that I don't even really know, has never really gotten going. Like really, it's done very well. It brings in money. It has a very tight community, but the community is, for YouTube standards, small. And I was never able to get up to the numbers that Britta has and Shirley has. And I've talked to Shirley about it. I've vlogged about it. Shirley, we had a long talk about it once where I just said, I don't know what else to do. And she was like, Jessa, it's just how YouTube works. And my channel, and Britta says the same thing, both of their channels were channels that they never expected to explode the way they did. For Britta, she got a mention. And for Shirley, that's what happened. Both of them got mentioned. Shirley on Reddit and Britta. But also, that's not it, because getting mentioned doesn't necessarily grow your channel. If you're not, once people get there, if the content that you're offering is just not that great, then no matter what, you're not gonna get the numbers that you want. But both Britta's content and Shirley's content are both very unique to each one of them. And they're so sweet that they just really connect with people and make people feel connected really quickly. So, I had that feeling with when people could find me, when YouTube, the great gods of YouTube would allow them to actually find me. Many people were like, I can't believe I've never found your channel. I love your channel, So, anyway, I've never seen the success that I'm seeing in this channel that I'm seeing on the Grand Dames, but it's also really good because the Grand Dames is sending over people. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers. Welcome new subscribers, by the way. Yeah, I'm really grateful for it, but it's amazing to be part of something that is just making people excited and making them talk and making them, and the Jessa channel has always been like this little cozy pajama party. And it's always been awesome and fun. And in case you might be thinking, wow, Jessa, are you going to get, flushed with fame and leave the Jessa channel? The answer is, oh my God, no. No. The Grand Dames for all of us is a side project. And we have designed it with that in mind, that we do one live stream a month. We're not going to be putting out Let's Plays. We're not going to be doing series, all that kind of stuff. We are your monthly dose of grandmama. But Jessa channel is my first love. But it's nice to be able to have my channel get some more recognition, and also to take all the hard work and everything I learned from putting the Jessa channel together and pour it into the Grand Dames and come up with something and look back and go, yeah, Jessa, you did good. And I'm proud of you. I could say that to myself. And that I'm gonna, that means a lot. It means a lot. Anyway, so yeah, success. This time last year, I believe I did a vlog called The Jessa Channel is Dead. And I'm really glad that vlog turned out to be wrong. The Jessa Channel is alive. And I am feeling more alive than I've felt in a long time. And I mean, as far as my channel is concerned, I haven't been feeling necessarily bad about it. But it's just like having all these people come in, yay! And most importantly, it's just brought me even closer to Shirley. Yesterday, we were on the phone for 2 hours, and only maybe 20 minutes of that was talking about the dames. We're working out something in regards to a live stream for this weekend, but which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But then we just talked and talked and talked. So yeah, basically the ultimate goal with the dames. Yeah, the success is wonderful. I'm not going to lie; it feels amazing. All the dames are just sitting back like, oh, even Shirley, is like, wow. And I mean, she should know. I mean, her channel is like a behemoth, but even she's like, whoa, okay, this is cool. This is really, there's a lot happening here. But for all of us, I mean, I know that Shirley and I feel like this. I'm pretty sure I can speak for Britta and Mary too. But if the success isn't secondary to the friendship that is forming between the four of us. And if that is healthy and happy, then I am content. And the success is just a beautiful, delicious, strawberry flavored, yummy icing on the cake. But it's still just icing on the cake. So I feel like I've finally been blessed. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to you for watching. And I'm going to leave you with, oh wait, before I go, I want to show you this Saturday. So, also the wonderful thing about the dames has the same energy as my marriage has and does. My marriage was something that we live in a little town, and my husband grew up here, but our marriage was like a community thing. It still is. People were like talking when we got together, and people were like, I heard you guys are together. Oh, it's a great night. And at the wedding, it was like this big old 125 people just like piled into this place. It was like a big party. Everybody's happy. Oh, it's a great night. And, we've been happily married now for quite a number of years, and people are still just like, hey, like they always ask after me if they see him, or him if they see me in the times when we're not together, which isn't very often, oh my gosh, where's Ian? Like, he's like a second appendage, like my arm, like, oh my God, where's your arm? Like, so, we're really, really, my husband and I, Mr. Jessa and I, but the dames kind of feels like that too. It feels like a bunch of people came together because we really liked each other and enjoyed each other's company. Like, I have a great memory of being with Mary at PAX West when I first met her, and she just texted me and said, hey, let's go and visit some of the places in PAX. She didn't have to do that. She didn't even know me really. She knew me as Shirley's friend and that we had just been on the panel. We ended up having a lovely afternoon just visiting each other, and she knew Mary may not have that big of a YouTube channel, but where her connection is, she knows like everybody. She is invited to all. She's been in part of the gaming and convention community for a long time. So she was like, oh, I'm going to this party and I'm going to this event. And I was like, I'm going to go home and cry into my pillow. That's what I'm doing. Or back to the hotel. Like, I wasn't invited anywhere because nobody knew me. But, yeah, so Mary is really connected, and every one of the dames brings something special to the table. And so anyway, I was going to show you guys this desktop here, Shirley. So this Saturday, at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. It's not a normal time that I live stream, but that's why I'm having to think of the times. 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. When I first put the announcement out and when I did the video, I had the wrong time. I was 11 a.m. for Pacific. It's actually noon. Anyway, Shirley, here's another wonderful little story as we all look at Shirley's really pretty face. Shirley in the Grand Dames live stream, one of the things that other dames noticed was how alive and she looked and how happy, thrilled, joyous, I guess is the best word. She was looking at chat and seeing all of those people in chat, and it inspired her. She was like, I want to start a Twitch channel so I can chat with you guys. And Shirley will attest herself that technology is not her strong point. So starting a Twitch channel, she would need to get help from her son. Like he helps her with all of her computer stuff. Anyway, so I went to her when we were talking and during that 2 hours, I was like, we should, actually it was before that, but that's not the point. I'd said to her at some point this week, I said, we could do that. We could have a live stream where it works for everyone, where you don't have to worry about starting up a Twitch channel. You can just live stream right here on the Grand Dames channel. And I'll do all the work and you just sit there and look pretty and talk. And you'll get to see people in chat. And then I said, we could also do it where you're in Discord too. Like some of you guys who are patrons of the Jessa channel, we have often had live streams featuring my patrons because they're in the call with me on Discord. So you hear their voices just like, so I said, we could, I already know how to do this. We could set it up. We could make it work. Long and short of it, this Saturday on youtube.com/The Grand Dames, we, Shirley will be live. I will be there, but just as tech support and help. It'll be all Shirley. I'll do the intro and the outro and, remind people to mute their mics. But otherwise, you'll get a chance to finally hang out with Shirley and talk to her. And she'll get to hear some of the voices of the patrons of the Grand Dame. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's all that's happening. It's so nice to finally put out a blog where I'm not struggling. I'm not depressed or anxious. I'm not, having a challenge. The channel is not dead. It's nice to finally be able to say, thank you. I'm going to leave you with that. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe to me. Subscribe to the Grand Dames. Head on over there and check out the other Dames channels. Mary is more on Twitch, but hopefully I hope she's got a link to her Twitch on her YouTube channel. But, there's more content coming up on the Jessa channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.